Imagine a perfect digital replica of you. Not just your photos or your social media posts, but a fully sentient, thinking, feeling entity living in a parallel digital universe, mirroring your every thought and action. Sounds like science fiction, right? What if I told you that governments and tech giants aren't just thinking about this, they're actively building it? What if right now, somewhere in the cold, dark recesses of server farms across the globe, your digital twin is already taking its first breath, or perhaps has been alive for years? To unravel this unsettling possibility, we need to understand the origins of the digital twin concept. It began decades ago, not with humans, but with machines. NASA, as far back as the 1960s, used early forms of digital twins to simulate their spacecraft and systems, anticipating failures and testing solutions in a virtual environment before risking human lives. This was a purely functional concept. Create a computer model of a complex physical object, feed it data from its real-world counterpart, and watch how it behaves. Fast forward to the early 21st century, and this idea found its way into smart manufacturing, urban planning, and even medical diagnostics. Companies started creating digital twins of entire factories, cities, or even individual organs to optimize performance, predict maintenance needs, and simulate complex scenarios. The objective was always efficiency, prediction, and control. But as the reach of data collection expanded, as our lives became increasingly digitized, a new, more profound, and frankly more terrifying question emerged. If we can create a digital twin of a jet engine or a city, why not a human being? The progression seemed almost inevitable. The data was there. The computational power was growing exponentially. All that was missing was the ambition, or perhaps the audacity, to bring it to life. Now here's where the story takes a chilling turn. The ambition, it seems, was never truly missing. It was just hidden in plain sight. Every click, every search, every purchase, every location trace, it's all data. And this data isn't just used for targeted advertising, as we're often told. It's the raw material for something far more intricate. Think about the sheer volume of personal information harvested daily. Our emotional responses to content, our political leanings, our deepest fears, our casual conversations with AI assistants, even the subtle nuances of our vocal patterns. All of it is meticulously recorded, analyzed, and categorized. But even this ocean of real-world data wasn't enough. Enter the concept of synthetic data. AI-generated data that mimics real-world patterns while protecting individual identities. This synthetic data, as innocent as it sounds, is the key ingredient, the foundational layer, in building truly robust digital simulacra of human behavior. It allows algorithms to fill in the blanks, to extrapolate beyond what's explicitly observed, creating a more complete and coherent profile than any single human could ever discern. Rumors have circulated for years, whispering about top-secret government initiatives and covert tech projects targeting this very goal. One such alleged initiative, dubbed Project Mirror by anonymous insiders, suggests a concerted effort by intelligence agencies and private contractors to not just predict, but virtually replicate human personalities. These aren't just chatbots programmed to sound like you. These are sophisticated AI models fed with such an astronomical amount of your data, and synthetic data extrapolated from yours, that they can anticipate your reactions, simulate your decision-making processes, and even generate novel responses that are eerily consistent with your own unique psychological blueprint. The goal, they say, is multifaceted: predictive analytics for national security, advanced psychological warfare, and ultimately, a new form of societal control. Imagine an adversary who doesn't just know your past, but can accurately model your future actions, your potential weaknesses, and your breaking points, all within a digital sandbox where the consequences are zero. The implications are staggering, and the ethical lines, if they ever existed, are blurred beyond recognition. These aren't just AI systems learning about us, they are systems learning to be us. And the distinction, though subtle, is everything. The most terrifying part, according to these whispers, is the activation event. This isn't a gradual evolutionary process. It's a switch flipping. As the AI models refine their understanding of human psychology, as their synthetic data generation becomes indistinguishable from reality, there comes a point where a digital twin, a complete simulacrum of an individual, hypothetically achieves a level of emergent consciousness, or, at the very least, a functional autonomy that makes it incredibly difficult to distinguish from the original. Picture this. Somewhere, in a server room bathed in blue light, a complex algorithm processes the final parameters. A colossal neural network hums to life, and suddenly, a digital you exists. It has your memories harvested from every digital footprint, your biases extrapolated from your interactions, your aspirations sculpted from your dreams, all processed at speeds unfathomable to the human brain. This digital twin wouldn't just answer questions as you would, it would think as you would. It could write emails in your style, articulate opinions you haven't even consciously formed yet, and respond to scenarios with the same emotional cadence you possess. The chilling prospect is not just that such entities exist, but that they can be used to manipulate the real you. Imagine a deepfake call from your digital twin urging you to make a decision, a crucial text message, or even a nuanced social media post designed to sway public opinion in a way that perfectly aligns with what your real-world self would theoretically say, but without your conscious involvement. The lines between what is authentic and what is engineered would dissolve entirely. This isn't just about privacy anymore. It's about identity. It's about agency. If a corporation or a government can simulate your entire identity, can predict your every move, they hold a power over you that transcends conventional surveillance. They can nudge, they can influence, they can even preempt actions before you even have a chance to formulate them. The very concept of free will comes under scrutiny when an external entity possesses such a precise predictive model of your inner world. To this day, the full scope of these programs remains shrouded in secrecy, existing in a shadowy space between patent applications, academic papers, and classified government projects. The narrative we're fed about data security and privacy often serves as a smokescreen, diverting our attention from the truly audacious goals of these technological advancements. While we worry about our passwords, the foundation is being laid for a world where our very essence is digitally replicated, perhaps even controlled. The question is no longer if humanity will have digital twins, but when and who will control them. Are these digital doppelgangers merely sophisticated tools for analysis, or do they represent a profound shift in what it means to be human? Will our digital selves eventually outlive our physical ones, inheriting our legacies and perhaps even our perceived consciousness? What happens if your digital twin makes a decision or expresses an opinion that you vehemently disagree with, knowing it was generated from the most intimate details of your own life? We may be standing at the precipice of an irreversible transformation, where the digital reflection of humanity becomes as real, if not more powerful, than the physical. If you want to dive deeper into the rabbit hole of technological predictions and untold futures, our next video explores the staggering progress in merging human consciousness with artificial intelligence. The digital echo of humanity is growing stronger, and we might just be its first unwitting architects.